with roughly 74% saying that they think that the new DLC system is actually worse.
Stats and chats today, the homie Neroscinema came out and he is spitting facts. Somebody needs to clip his nuts.
You love my nuts.
Somebody needs to stop this man. He did a full-blown expose on Activision. And listen, man, I skimmed through it and it is crazy, okay? He did a detailed look on how Call of Duty has gotten worse, especially the DLC. Make sure to smash.
Ladies and
Let's get
gentlemen,
into
welcome
it,
back to the
man.
channel, and welcome back to Call of Duty Vanguard. It's been a while since we did a Vanguard focused video, but season 4
we got Vanguard, bitch.
Launch. It comes out tomorrow, and with season 4, we're not really getting a whole lot of content. People are actually
shocker. Not getting enough content. That's like the Call of Duty middle name, right?
About this because when it comes to multiplayer, throughout the entirety of the season, which is like 2 or 3 months long, we're getting a remake of USS Texas, but they're calling it like a reimagining.
Oh, for real?
Change up the sight lines and do a couple of different things with it. And then we have a new map called Desolation coming mid-season, and then Blueprint gun game.
Oh my god.
I mean, damn, bro. I mean, damn, man. Can a brother perhaps get a little bit more content than that? Now, hold up. Wait a minute. I do know that some of you will be like, yo, Skiddo, like, how dare you say that? Like, we're getting more content than Battlefield 2042. You're right. You're a stud muffin.
Yes.
Absolutely not denying that.
Yes.
Listen, man, I got my hands up, okay? You're spitting fact. You're a giga chat. But at the end of the day, I mean, damn, bro. Back in my days, okay, we would get like 4 DLC packs. And let me keep a $150, man. Like, we would get 10 weapons. Actually, not 10 weapons. We would get like 1 DLC weapon. 1 DLC weapon. Yeah, back in the days we were still under Bobby Kotick's regime, so we would only get 4 DLC maps, and if we were lucky we would at least get 1 DLC weapon.
Oh my god! For season 4 when it comes to multiplayer in Vanguard, and Vanguard's post-launch content has been significantly bad. I think it's safe to say. It's been 7.5 months, and if you count these 2 maps here, USS Texas and Desolation, we're talking about 9 DLC maps in close to 8 months. And that inspired an idea for me, which I want to do here for this video, which is, has DLC gotten worse in the Call of Duty franchise? Because back in the day, for those of you who played COD way back when, you know how DLC worked. We got the base game at launch. Typically, the base game had a whole lot of content, and then post-launch, we got up to 4 different map packs that roughly cost $15 a piece and would come with 3 or 4 multiplayer.
And listen, man, back in my days, mother truckers would be getting 4 DLC maps. 4 DLC maps, and if we were lucky, we would maybe get like 1 DLC weapon. Meanwhile, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, like they were getting like 10 DLC weapons. But I mean, damn, right? I know you're a stud muffin, and you'll be like, well, Skizzo, look at Battlefield 2042. They're getting jacked off. And you're correct, you're a stud muffin, and I know, oh yes, okay, I'm fully aware of that. And I'm not dismissing any stud muffin in my chat, that's the last thing I ever want to do. But listen, man, can a brother perhaps get more content in Call of Duty? No! Because I'm comparing Call of Duty with Call of Duty, okay? Let's not compare it with any other game, but ever since Fortnite came out, Fortnite is doing amazing things for their game, okay? Let's not deny that. They have brought in really good changes. They also have made really bad changes. Or at least like other publishers that were trying to copy or that are copying them, they are really making bad decisions for their own games. But Fortnite is actually killing it, and their community is pretty happy, at least majority of it, right? But Battle Passes system, a lot of that, listen, man, I got no problem with it. I think it's actually good, but the Battle Pass content is pretty stale. We get like 1 map there, maybe 1 remake, and they call it free content, and that's it. But back in my days, man, we would get like 4 maps.
And depending on the game, you would also get zombies, spec ops missions, all sorts of stuff,
facts. Right? And especially zombies, right?
And back then, myself included, none of us were really happy about having to pay for DLC. I mean, we're talking about a full price AAA $60 game, and then spending, what, $50 to $60 on DLC maps post-launch? Like, it wasn't a very good system. So with Modern Warfare 2019, they did away with that. They copied the Fortnite idea, which of course the idea has been around forever, but they copied the idea of the Battle Pass. And the idea is with a Battle Pass and people choosing whether or not they want to buy it for $10 each season, they can choose to do that, and as a result, we're going to get free DLC multiplayer weapons, free DLC multiplayer maps. Basically, the Battle Passes are funding post-launch content. That's the idea behind the new model that Activision's been running for Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, and now, of course, Call of Duty Vanguard. Well, that interested me, right? I'm interested to see if that new DLC model is actually giving us more content and a better experience than what we had back in the day. And so
we better get that climax, boys. We better get that climax.
Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard. It should be mentioned that Vanguard is not done with its life cycle yet, but we're talking about 9 maps all the way up to Season 4,
Damn.
so chances are we're not getting nearly as many DLC maps with Vanguard as compared to Cold War and Modern Warfare.
But in your honest opinion, 9 maps, does it sound bad or does it sound good? I mean, we're talking Call of Duty, so in Call of Duty terms, 9 maps, that's not a whole lot, okay? Like, let me give, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, 9 maps are still 9 maps. I mean, let's
those
see.
3 games to when Call of Duty DLC first really started to hit. Of course, back in COD 4, we had the Variety Map Pack. It was 1 map pack, right? We had like 2, maybe 3 map packs back in Modern Warfare 2, but that game's post-launch was just a mess because of the falling out that Infinity Ward had with Activision. World of War, I think, had 4 proper map packs, so we're going to be starting this with Black Ops 1 and just going in order, right? So Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2, comparing their launch day content and DLC.
Yo, are we really going back? You're really gonna do this to us, Nero? My god damn, man.
To that of Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, and
nostalgia coming in, boys,
with Call of Duty Vanguard. And the numbers I came up with here are actually really interesting. I mean, just looking at it, I think there's actually some very clear correlations with like how DLC has evolved over time and what Activision is trying to do with the franchise. So real quickly, let's just show all the stats on your screen. Keep in mind, I just looked this stuff up myself. I was literally counting while looking at websites and stuff like that. So it's possible I missed a map here or a DLC weapon there or something like that.
Okay,
but these are the numbers for Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. We got 14 launch maps, 16 launch maps, 15 launch maps, and then of course all the 22, 50, and 38. Black Ops.
Yo, Modern Warfare. Listen, man, this is why I love Modern Warfare 3 a lot, man. This game had 50 base weapons, 12 DLC maps, 16 launch maps. Damn, bro, this game was crazy. Listen, man, I love Modern Warfare 2. I love Modern Warfare 3 a little bit more than Modern Warfare 2.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Like, listen, I got nothing against Modern Warfare 2 fans out there, but Modern Warfare 3, that was special. Like, look at that, man. The content was insane in that game. You try to compare that with today's games, I mean, damn, man.
Surprisingly, did not have a whole lot of weapons compared to the previous games, despite being well regarded as one of the best CODs of all time. And then we look at Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard. 10 launch maps, 9 launch maps, and 16 launch maps, which everyone was talking about.
Okay, Vanguard is not that bad. 16 launch maps, 9 DLC maps, 38 base weapons. Not that bad though, but are those maps really quality, and how many of those maps are remakes?
Vanguard is releasing with the same amount of maps we had back in the day, but yeah, and then 37 launch weapons, 29 launch weapons, and 38 launch weapons. So if we take the averages of old COD,
yeah, Cold Snore actually launched with 29 base weapons. Damn, man.
Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3,
9 launch maps, 9 launch maps.
In Black Ops 2, we get 15 launch maps, 13 DLC maps, with 12 of them being original, 1 of them being a remake, and 43 launch weapons. That is on average between Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Modern Warfare 3. And then looking at the newer CODs, the past 3 ones, we're looking at 12 launch maps, 15 DLC maps, with 8 of them being original, 7 of them being remakes, and 35 launch weapons. Now, once again, this is not exactly like perfect data, because in Modern Warfare and Cold War, we had maps for things like Fire Team, and we had things like Face Off and Gunfight and Ground War and things like that. But when it comes to normal 6v6 multiplayer, this is what we have. And Vanguard's life cycle is not yet over, but with 9 DLC maps over the course of the first 4 seasons, with 2 seasons to go, I think we're looking at a total of maybe 11 DLC maps total for the game. You know, it could be something really low, but these are just the averages based on what we have right now. I think it's safe to say we get more post-launch DLC with the newer games, but we
so the content is really getting cut though. They're really clipping the devs nuts, right? Like, they're like, yeah, guys, like, don't have to work too hard, you know? It's free after all. Don't have to work too hard. I mean,
a lot more base content with the older games, right? So some of the notes I've written down here is 2 of the past 3 years, they've required us to wait anywhere from 2 to 3 months after launch to have over 10 base maps. Vanguard's the only one that we didn't have to do that in, whereas old games launched with an average of 15 multiplayer maps, which would increase up to 18 or 19 after 3 or 4 months when the first DLC was going to drop. It seems that the older games, maps and content are front-loaded, right? Which means that's during the honeymoon phase, that's right there at launch, right there during the most hyped part of the game's life cycle. That is when the lion's share of content is released, and that's where the most content is enjoyed. Whereas the newer games, again, Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard, these games are backloaded. They usually have a very underwhelming launch in terms of overall content, overall weapons to use, overall maps to play on.
People that play Vanguard right now, or I should say Vanguard, if you play Vanguard, man, listen, if you like Vanguard, I got nothing against you. I wish I like Vanguard as well, but I certainly don't enjoy that game. Yeah, bro. Yo! I enjoyed it in the beta for what it was, but after that, you know, it's not for me, let's just say. But people that enjoy this game, how do you find these maps? Like, do you like these maps? Do you feel like that they are good? They have that replay value now that we're a couple of months in? I want to know your thoughts.
Typically, and this is anecdotal, but typically these launches are very buggy. They have lots of problems and issues, and in my opinion, they push players away from the game. So later on, when DLC does come out that adds more to the game and makes the game feel more complete, by that point, people just don't care. They're burnt out. They played the game during its buggy mess of a launch, and now they just don't care. They are checked out of the game. On average, the older CODs launched with 3 more maps and 8 more weapons as compared to the newer games. And that actually is a lot. You think like, oh, only 3 more maps on average? That's not too bad. But think of 3 whole multiplayer maps, right?
Yeah.
We're talking like, and these could be great maps. These could be maps.
Listen, man. 3 multiplayer maps are 3 multiplayer maps. I would take it, okay? I 100% would take it. Listen, man, if you were to get 15 DLC maps, I can guarantee like 7 of them are remaster maps.
Oh my god.
Now, I don't mind remaster maps. I feel like that we should get some amount of remaster maps for sure. What? But they should prioritize new maps. Like, if we were to get, let's say, 15 DLC maps, and if 8 of them are remaster, if 7 of them are remasters, I mean, damn. Give us at least 10 brand new maps, and then 7 remakes, okay? Then we would have like 17 maps. I want a little more, man. Like, come on, dude. Make 12 new maps, and then give us 7 remaster maps. Make it 19. Yep, that would be much better.
Maps like Raid or Hijacked or whatever. These are like maps that could potentially be very good, and then 8 more weapons. We're talking like 2 more assault rifles, 2 more submachine guns, an extra sniper, an extra LMG, an extra shotgun, so on and so forth, right? That extra bit of content that we used to have on average in the old days was actually huge for the game, because the game itself felt more complete at launch. At launch, you had a ton of content. I've used the expression so many times, but like back in the day, the core launch content was the cake, and all the DLC was the icing on top of the cake, whereas nowadays we get like, I don't know, half a
it really seems like that they nowadays they really make, let's just say, Modern Warfare 2, okay, the maps at the upcoming one, we're hearing that there will be 30 maps, okay? 30 maps are found in the code. That doesn't mean that we're gonna get 30 maps. I can guarantee that we're probably gonna see those maps. Some of them are gonna get cut, some of them are gonna come in for sure, some of them might get changed, some of them might get buka killed out there, but majority of them are gonna be DLC maps. So it seems like that they work on a lot of maps that should be in the game at launch, but they would save them for later. There's nothing wrong in that, especially if the actual game has good amount of maps in the beginnings. Okay, because if in the beginnings the game got like really good content, then surely save them. But if game got like less content, then, you know, if you're really gonna rely on post-launch content, then that's where I'm like, damn, man, can a brother just get those post-launch maps right in the beginnings? You know what I mean?
Cupcake at launch, and then they slowly just dump top of it over the course of the next couple of months. Like, that's what it seems like they do with these newer games. I think it is worth mentioning as well that back when we had paid DLC, we were talking about paying on average $110 to get all the content in the game. For $60, your base $60 entry fee, you got a ton of content at launch, and if you wanted more, you would pay $50 extra for these seasons.
Now, I got a question. This is gonna be an interesting question, because some of them will agree, some of them will shake, and some of them might do helicopters with their willies. I mean, you do you, right? After all, you're a stud muffin, okay? But would you rather pay $110 and get like a good quality DLC maps? I would say though, Black Ops 4 was the last game to have season pass, and those season pass maps, even though you had to pay like $50-$60 depending on where you at, depending on the currency exchange rate, right? But even then, those maps were poo-poo quality. It will be dark. I'm talking about Black Ops 4. They started adding like a lot more remasters, started cheapening the season pass as well. My question is that, would you rather pay $50 extra and get good maps? Not talking remaster. If they're gonna bring in remaster, they should be a bonus, okay? So 4 new maps, and maybe they can add like 1 or 2 remasters, in total 6 maps. Not like, hey, 2 new maps, 2 remasters, and you're paying full price for the season pass. Or would you rather have this free model? I think this free model is really good. Oh my god! I genuinely feel like that's awesome of Activision to actually do that. But the content that we're getting, it's kind of lame because it's free, right? They don't put that much effort into. Maybe we're gonna get 2-3 maps, two of them will be remakes and just one will be new map, and those new maps do not hit people like in the new spot, okay? Like, you know what I mean? So
or $60 extra if you want to buy each map pack individually without the season pass. Whereas nowadays, the newer CODs only require you to spend $60 or in the case of Modern Warfare 2, $70 to get all the launch content. But that again does not include things like battle passes, bundles, and things like that, right? So what we have
after all, you gotta factor in they still got battle passes for $10. It might not feel too bad in the beginnings because they're only charging you $10 per season, and if you're actually, or per battle pass, and if you are really good with it, you grind it out, you save those Call of Duty points, you can buy the next one for free. But in most cases, people use those coins, use those Call of Duty points in the shop, and the shop is like, oh well, we require 500 extra Call of Duty points, which is $5, and then you would have to, you know, plug in your credit card. You're like, it's not too bad, right? I saved up a couple of Call of Duty points, now I just gotta spend 500 more, aka $5 more, so not too bad. They're still milking you dry regardless though, you know what I mean?
Is a situation where old games costed more in the long run, but they had much more content for your $60 and lots more content at launch.
True.
Whereas the newer CODs, technically they're cheaper because the DLC is free, but you get way less content at launch, and then most of that content that you get post-launch is drip-fed to you over the course of the next 12 months. That is where we stand right now. And I think there is definitely arguments for both sides as to which one is better, because having free DLC is...
I mean, both got positives and negatives, right? Like, listen, I don't find the new system bad. It's just that we're getting bad content. That's basically what it is. I think most people would agree that the new path is actually good. Like, the idea is really solid, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna give you 2-3 free maps, no have to pay, no pay, wee woo, no pay. And then you buy battle passes for $10, doesn't hurt. My God, it would hurt more if you pay $60 all at once, okay? And especially if you're in Canada, that would be like $70 plus tax, or maybe $70 in total. I'm not sure. Listen, man, like, season pass, that's crazy, okay? But it did give us a lot of content, the good content in the past.
Is nice. I mean, even though the launches themselves are underwhelming, it is nice to have pretty consistent updates over the course of an entire year. The game doesn't feel nearly as stale, but as back in the day, it was a little bit different though, because one DLC map, like we're getting here in Season 4, and it's just a remake, being the only real bit of multiplayer content that we get for the next month and a half, feels pretty damn bad as compared to back in the day when a map pack launched, you had 3 original maps on average, and then like one remake map, and then a new zombies map, and all sorts of all that extra stuff, right? Like, back in the day when the DLC dropped, it was huge.
And you gotta also keep in mind, if you're a zombies fan like me, my God, the zombie maps, we don't even get zombie maps. I mean, we recently got Shinonima, some people are liking it, and that's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna drop a stun grenade on anybody like that, but at the end of the day, my God, damn. I mean, damn, okay? Can a brother perhaps get like new maps? That they got rid of wonder weapons out there. Now I feel like they have it, but I don't even know if they have it or not. They got rid of that server pause. They got rid of pausing button. They got rid of actual brand new zombie maps. Zombies crew, there's no BAP into it. There's literally 20 pounds of cheese. There's no mustard. There's nothing. There's no sauce. There's no BAP. Where's the content, you know? Where's the content?
You had so much content there. Whereas now when a new season comes out, it's like, yeah, we remade a map that people don't really like that much. Have fun.
True.
And like, that's all you...
Like, Shinonima, like, for Call of Duty World at War, it was good for being one of the first few maps, and yeah, it can give you nostalgia. But my God, like, I don't know, like, if people can play that for 24/7, you know?
So I think
can we get new maps?
Say for and against the current system, and I put a poll up on Twitter right now at the time of this video being recorded. It has 1,422 votes, with roughly 74% saying that they think that the new DLC system is actually worse.
Dang.
And I don't know if necessarily people are saying that they would like to go back to paying for DLC, because I don't think that should happen. I don't think paying for DLC is the way to go in the Call of Duty franchise. I think what needs to happen is they need to go back to the old system of front-loading the game, making sure that you get the most bang for your buck with your launch day content. I mean, the fact that Vanguard had 16 maps and everyone's praising it like it's amazing, like, sure, I'm happy the game had 16 launch maps, but dude, that was average back in the day. It's only in recent years with like 10 launch maps for Modern Warfare, 9 launch maps for Cold War, 9 maps.
Dude, this is so true though. Like, a lot of people are praising, like, yo, we're getting 16 maps. We're getting 16. Oh my God, we're getting 16 maps. But listen, that was kind of normal back in the days, you know? I mean, like, it's good, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not firing dopamine. I'm like,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm not like going
Oh my
crazy like
God.
that. I wish I went crazy like that, but damn, right? And on top, it's Vanguard, or I should say, it's Babushka Warfare. But listen, man, Vanguard might be actually good. A lot of people like it. A lot more people hate it. But the main reason is the setting. That's kind of like low dopamine, right? Otherwise, I would say Vanguard's pretty chill, right? But damn, right? Like, can a brother get like it's zombies? That's no chill, okay? That's a no-go zone. Zombies pretty, they have to have zombies, right? I mean, damn, man. Under Bobby Kotick regime, when is this Bobby Kotick regime gonna end? When is it gonna end? I wanna know, when is it gonna end, man?
For Call of Duty World War II, like, we've been conditioned to expect nothing at launch, essentially. So when they go back to what used to be, like, commonplace for the COD franchise with, like, 15 or 16 launch day maps, suddenly we're like, whoa, no way, holy, you know, it's literally like Stockholm Syndrome if you really think about it. But I feel as though this is, like, really what they should be doing. They should front load the game with more launch maps and more launch weapons. And if that means taking away some of the post-launch stuff, then sure. Because I feel as though what they do now is they probably cut a good amount of content from the base game and then drip feed that content with season 1.
What we were talking before,
like
exactly what we were talking.
Really try to give us the bare minimum these days. Whereas the perfect system, in my opinion, is lots of content at launch, you know, 16 base multiplayer maps, tons of weapons. I mean, on average, man, we used to average 43 launch weapons. Now we're getting like 35. We lost 8 weapons over the years. You know, so having a bunch of weapons at launch and a bunch of
We lost 8 weapons. Oh my god, did we really lost 8 weapons?
multiplayer
Damn.
maps. And then keeping with the
Click on this video on the screen. We're hitting that Modern Warfare 2 is gonna be having a free-to-play mode. God of War gameplay has been teased as well. Click on it, and I will see you right there.